Hello. This is part 2 on anxiety. Being able to break down anxiety into individual parts makes it not only easier to identify, but also easier to treat. It informs us of our triggers, a negative thought, racing heart, or losing a job, to name a couple, so that we know what to specifically target. It also allows us to view our anxiety more objectively. By identifying what we are thinking and feeling, we create space between us and our symptoms. The role of avoidance and anxiety. People naturally function better when they behave in ways consistent with their values. When our behaviors are not in line with our own values, our risk of stress, anxiety, and even depression increase massively. Why then would we purposely behave in direct opposition to the things we value most? Avoidance. We want to avoid our bad emotions and negative thinking. We focus so hard on achieving a state of happiness that we struggle furiously against anything that threatens it and do whatever we can to not feel bad. Yet, in our effort to get rid of that internal ickiness, we make it worse. I swear we do. For example, let's say you value being a responsible employee. It would make perfect sense that behaviors such as meeting deadlines, being on time, and working hard would all increase your self-esteem, confidence, and overall mood. Your behaviors are moving you toward your identified value of being a good employee. Bam. But what if, however, work has really been stressing you out lately? To avoid your work stress, you start calling out sick, missing meetings, and working less hard because it's just too overwhelming. But this behavior has now resulted in a poor performance review and a lost promotion. While your efforts to get rid of your work stress may have initially provided temporary relief, they ultimately took you further away from what is most important to you. By avoiding what feels bad, we continue to create more of what we don't want. We also internalize the message that we are incapable of handling difficult emotions. Take drinking alcohol as another example. Many people find socializing in large groups to be extremely anxiety-provoking. The fear, judgment by others, may feel stupid when in conversations, or sense that they just don't fit in. The unwillingness to sit with those uncomfortable thoughts and feelings while mingling at a party is a big reason why people drink alcohol in these settings. Avoid as much as that as you can. Try to be authentic before you get wasted. Alcohol temporarily mutes our anxiety. Notice it's just a temporary mute. While this suppression might help at first a little, the relief is short-lived, and the person's belief that they need alcohol to be social is reinforced. So we set ourselves up for failure. It becomes a vicious cycle. Can't make that up. We frequently see this unwillingness to tolerate discomfort in people with perfectionist tendencies. That's definitely me. I'm a perfectionist, big time. I have skill set to lessen some of the challenges that come along with it, though. Those who identify as perfectionists have an intense fear of failure. I did. The anxiety that experience The anxiety that we experience when faced with a performance-based task can be debilitating. To avoid this pain, they procrastinate. They may focus so intently on the tiny details that they lose sight of the large tasks and either don't complete it or complete it late. I was the queen of lateness, big time. Or they simply never start at all. You can't fail if you never finish. That is so true. Both behaviors may initially reduce anxiety, but they are only short-term fixes. By procrastinating, they fail anyway, thereby confirming their initial fear. Chances are those with perfectionist tendencies value being a good student or employee. Yet, their behavior, procrastination, takes them further away from this value, making their anxiety even worse. So if it's unhealthy to avoid your anxious thoughts and feelings, then what do? You sit with them. Sit with them. You tolerate them. You observe. Without judgment now. Whatever comes up for you in the moment, and then let it pass. You feel the uncomfortable feelings, have the worrisome thoughts, and at the same time, move forward. Move toward what is making you anxious. Just move toward it. Take your time. Be patient with yourself. And in other words, feel bad and do it anyway. It provides you the opportunity to see that nothing bad will happen when you sit in those tough feelings, an experience that you otherwise would have deprived yourself of by avoiding it. Changing, modifying, or eliminating behaviors that are unhealthy, avoidance, or no longer work for you allows you to live a more fulfilled life with less risk of anxiety. Wouldn't that be great? Less risk of anxiety, mood disorders, and relationship difficulties. That is the best thing. The best thing for all of us, to be able to feel comfortable in our own skin. You are not your anxious thoughts. We are not our anxious thoughts. I'm going to provide you with tools to help you notice your thoughts. Allow them to simply exist. Then let them pass, rather than battling them and battling with them. Numerous strategies, such as metaphors and diffusion exercises, will teach you how to become objective in your thinking, rather than getting entangled with your thoughts and stuck in your head. I'm going to drop all kind of videos to give tips with these things, because the more that we can help one another, I strongly believe that we can change this world to be a better place for all of us. But we all have to do our part. You can't simply just watch and swipe. We owe it to ourselves and the world to achieve self-actualization and figure out what our purpose in life is. It's deeper than the ego. It's deeper than what we watch on television. We have to do the difficult work. Only we know who we are. We can't get that from no one else. Always remember that. So if you have someone in your life that's talking to you in ways like, you'll be nobody without me, you need me, you might want to evaluate that relationship, because you don't need them. Don't let nobody talk to you like that. You don't need nobody in your life. I don't care if you had so much trauma and you in this relationship because you can isolate and they pay all your bills. You still got to get yourself out that situation. It's codependency. Get rid of it. You're worthy of love. Self-love first. I love you guys. I'll be